Hello?
You're through to Matt Bianco.
Hello, Matt Bianco.
Hello,
Gonna punch your
Hello? He's gone.
Well, I'm here with the legend that is Mike Reed. Mike, lovely to see you.
And you.
Now, my memories of you, obviously, are Superstore and Radio 1, which I guess is your beginning. But you actually started with Steve Wright.
Yeah, we started Radio 210, a guy called Neil French Blake, that I sort of knew oiked us in. We'd never done radio before. And we were sort of put together, A, because we were the new boys, and because of our names, Reed and Wright.
Yeah.
It just worked. And, you know, he said to us, he said, now just watch the professionals, see what they do and copy them. And Steve Wright and myself thought, oh, it's just a bit boring, a bit old-fashioned. So we did our own thing. So he fired us on a weekly basis. You know, you boys are amateurs, I'm firing you. Oh, well, we had a couple of weeks run, that's good. And then we got away with it for a month. We got away with it for 3 months. And then, you know, we kind of bedded in and we changed what people were doing on the radio. Yeah. At the time, we were just slightly bonkers. Yeah. And he'd drive in and say, what are you boys doing sitting in the road? We said, well, you've got the engineers to run wires out to the road. He said, if you're listening to us, hoot. We go, wow, they are. We were so excited about being on the radio. And then I got the gig at Luxembourg out of about 2,000 people. And then so did Steve. Then I went to Radio 1, so did Steve. So our paths were very, very similar.
So that was the breakfast show. That was the flagship show, wasn't it?
Well, at Radio 1?
Yeah,
it was. I mean, I didn't go straight into that. I did an evening show before John Peel,
right?
Which I loved, really loved that. And then I took a lot of that music onto daytime, and our boss said, oh, this is nighttime music. And I said, no, it's just music. Yeah. It's just really good songs. So, again, we changed the music, the face of the music quite a bit then as well. So I loved it. I mean, I just thought at Radio 1, I just thought I was having fun, but it turns out I learned stuff as well.
I used to do a paper round, and I used to come back in, and I remember you used to be playing the guitar. Sometimes you'd have Cliff Richard with you in the studio. You'd have guests. It was just interesting.
Yeah.
And then, but obviously, let's talk about Superstore. So, how did that come about?
Well, I was asked to go and do an interview for it.
This is following on from the Swap Shop.
Yeah,
so
Noel had done Swap Shop for 6 years, and they were changing, and they interviewed hundreds of people. They got down to about a final 8. They interviewed me, and I've never been one to like crawl over broken glass and be desperate for something. You know, I thought, well, if they want me, they want me. And I'd done the interview, and I was walking across the car park at Broadcasting House at TV Centre, and Chris Bellinger, the editor, ran after me. He said, if we were to offer you this, he said, would you accept it? And I said, yeah. He said, we weren't quite sure. You seemed quite diffident about it. It's like, well, you know, come see, come see. I said, no, I would. Anyway, I got it.
And it actually carried on with Sarah Green and Chegwin, which were kind of, and John Craven.
Saturday morning, get down to the Superstore. We're gonna check out the score down at the store.
Yeah, there was a hangover of the gang, which ran through it, which is good, which gave them a good basis for it. But
Sarah Green was a childhood crush of mine.
She was lovely, Sarah. She still is.
She still is.
What was funny was it was the longest live TV show in the world. It was 3¼ hours long.
Yeah.
And I remember on the first one, I was trying to store the whole 3¼ hours in my head. And after a while, I thought, I don't need to do that, because there are points where I can just go, check what's coming next, check what's coming next. But I'm standing there going, this is live, it's 3¼ hours, and there's no going back.
People have put them on YouTube, the whole 3-hour episodes. How does that make you feel? Does it make you think it's a bit weird, or do you think you're proud of the fact people have bothered to put the whole episode up?
I think it's very strange that the BBC don't do it properly. I found that with Pop Quiz, which we used to do on a Saturday night as well. The number of times I've spoken to them and said, look, you've got 65 episodes still that still haven't been wiped. You've got 65 episodes. People are putting up average versions or blurry versions
and cutting out
YouTube.
the music. And
yeah, I said, so why do we not do it properly? Why don't you put them out on BBC Four or something like that? And you get bogged down, you get moved from person to person. Oh, it's a rights thing. They're actually lazy and can't be bothered. But you think, well, if people can watch it free on YouTube, a blurry version, why not do it properly on the BBC? Same as Superstar.
And they'd have the rights for the music, and it would just be a better experience.
Absolutely.
So let's just go back to Superstore. There were quite a few funny situations where kids would phone in, and because I don't know if you had a button to cut off the thing. So there was two. There's Matt Bianco, I think, was one. Swing Out Sister was two.
I think it was Swing Out Sister.
So what do you remember from those?
Well, Matt Bianco, I think it was their first time on. They were so delighted, and it was live, so there was no, unlike radio where you have this sort of 7-second delay button in case somebody says something. I'm not sure they bother now, I don't know. But yeah, somebody came on, somebody had been on, somebody else came on. Hello, Matt Bianco. Yeah, you're through to Matt Bianco.
Hello?
You're through to Matt Bianco.
Hello, Matt Bianco.
Hello,
Get a bunch of
Hello, he's gone.
And their faces was like, oh my goodness me. I said, oh, silly caller, move on, or something like that. It's if you do it quickly enough, did I hear that? Or no, but I didn't dwell on it. And I think it was Swing Out Sister, where some bloke came on from Scotland, and they said, oh, where are you from? And he said, fuck off. And they said, what did he say? I said, I think he said Falkirk. And Chris Bellinger, our editor, came down afterwards. He said, very good try. He said, but we heard what they said. He said, of course, they had to give their number. So he said, we phoned him back, and this bloke said, oh, sorry, I was talking to my wee doggy who was jumping up. So even so, you're on children's TV. Yeah. You don't say that. And I think Bobby Robson, when he was managing England, was on as well. And this guy had been chatting with him, and he said, anyway, there you go, son, if that's all. He said, oh, one more thing, Bobby. He said, my dad thinks you're a complete prat. And Bobby Robson, totally unfazed as you are in football, said, that's the way it goes in football, son.
If you're interested in the channel and it's your first time, check out the best of 2022. Loads of clips of my favourite episodes.
Are you Tufty?
You sure again? I know you. What now?
Really? You?
The interviewer gets a beer.
Have that one and we'll go get another one.
I'm the famous one and I don't get a beer.
Oh, it's that geezer again. Look, only him.
You can even support me by giving me a tip in the chat. Nice.
Yeah, boy, help me.
But enough about that. Subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and please don't forget.
Subscribe to the Skyaaz YouTube channel.
Let's talk about other stuff you've been involved in. So the Heritage Chart is, I mean, give me the history of that. So when did that start?
It started in 2020. I was playing a lot of new music by heritage artists. It was a conversation with Limal, and he said, you're playing my new song, Stay in Love. He said, but nobody else is playing it. And I said, well, it's probably one of the best things you've done. He said, I know. And then talking with the Kim Wildes, the Nick Kershaws, the Howard Jones, the Paul Youngs.
Tight Fit as well.
They said, you're playing our new music, but Radio 2 aren't. So I thought a shop window is called for, so I started the Heritage Chart in July 2020, which is still going. We're in the third year now. And then 56 episodes ago, I started the TV version of it, which now goes out across Europe, UK, America, and Canada. And it's worked. I mean, and the great thing is I get artists saying, well, we weren't doing anything, but now there's a window. We're back in the studio. We're writing songs again. We're recording. We put the band back together. I thought, that's fantastic. So it's really worked. It's, and everyone says, well, it's the new Top of the Pops. Top of the Pops hasn't been on since 2006, and there's nothing remotely like it. So this is kind of the new Top of the Pops. Yeah, I bumped into Sarah and Noel at a couple of things, and they talked about curating an evening of film or something. I thought that'd be fun. Then they came up with the footage detectives, because they've done a few bits on Talking Pictures. And I thought, I'm not quite sure what that is or where they're going with this. But it worked out really well. We've been doing it for 16, 17 months, something like that now. It's been great fun. It really has worked. Interesting, because Noel's always been a backroom boy, and now he's on TV every week. But he's really warmed to it, I must say. And it, whatever it is, and you can never organise these things, it seems to work, which is great.
What I love is you find these rare bits of film that probably no one's ever seen. It's fantastic.
No, it is good. I've said that with other TV stations I've been on. I said, you know, they like it if there's somebody home, rather than just here's a program, here's another program, here's another program. When there's somebody they can relate to. And with this, they can get involved, and they do. And people come through, I think you'll find that was a Wolsey hornet that just roared out of the corner of the picture. You know, my dad had one from, you know, this 63 to 65 and stuff like that. So, yeah, people are really interested, you know, in the trams, the buses, the music, first record they ever bought, all this sort of thing. But, you know, they can get involved. So we get tens of thousands of letters, which is wonderful.
Let's talk about your book. So I saw one of your Cliff Richard books. It's worth hundreds. The book, and then also you've got your autobiography, and you've written other books as well, I believe.
Yeah, I've done 41 books, I think, in all. The current books I'm doing is a series of 1,000 Years of a London Street. I've got 1,000 Years of Denmark Street out there. 1,000 Years of Cheapside comes out this year.
Yeah.
And then I think next year, 1,000 Years of Piccadilly.
And you've also written a show, City of Dreams, I believe.
Yes.
So let me just show the. This is the flyer. So this is coming up 25th to the 29th of April, 2023. It's in Esher, which is in Surrey. You've got Lee John from Imagination.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about the show.
Well, Eric Coates was our top classical writer. He wrote themes like the Desert Island Discs, Calling All Workers, Workers' Playtime, the Dam Busters, the Knightsbridge March. And I always loved his music. My grandfather was a big fan. And I started putting some words to it, and I thought, within 6 weeks, I finished it. And I thought, this is so perfect for the stage. I subsequently learned that the British press and media in the late 30s, early 40s had actually said to him, you know, you're like our Richard Rodgers, you should be writing for the stage. Your tunes are perfect for musicals. And he never did. He died in 1957. And they were sort of saying, you should find a Lorenz Hart, find an Oscar Hammerstein. And he didn't. He wrote, the few lyrics were done on his stuff by Frederick Weatherly, who was a lawyer who wrote the words to Danny Boy. But nothing for the stage or anything like that. So, yeah, so here he is, 2023. He was born in 1886, I think. And this is his first stage musical.
And you managed to get Lee John. So is he the lead?
Lee John plays one of the main parts. Peter Straker was originally in Hair. Andre Bernard is in Only Fools and Horses and lots of soaps on TV. Got a great choreographer in Lee Payne, who's brilliant. Director Ray Shell was in various Five Guys Named Mo, Starlight Express, The Bodyguards. We got some really, really good people. And the other day I was at auditions and they had 15 people doing synchronized tap dancing to one of my songs. And I thought, this is showbiz to me. This is pure Broadway. I loved it. Eric's there, and he's here. He's here. If you look up there, see where the door is.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, look, thank you very much for your time, Mike. It's
Pleasure.
been brilliant. I will feature the City of Dreams.
Lovely. Thanks very much.